Hello everyone, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Abe.
I'm Jay.
I'm Josh too.
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood from 2019.
Here I come.
Smooth lead.
You're goddamn right.
On July 26th, in a town of make-believe, things are about to get real.
Charlie's gonna dig you.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Kurt Russell, Dakota Fanning, and is directed by Quentin Tarantino. The plot of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is that actor Rick Dalton gained fame and fortune by starring in a 1950s television western, but now struggling to find any meaningful work in Hollywood, in a Hollywood that he doesn't recognize anymore. He spends most of his time drinking and palling around with Cliff Booth, his easygoing best friend and longtime stunt double. Rick also happens to live next door to Roman Polanski and Sharon Tate, the filmmaker and budding actress whose futures will forever be altered by the members of the Manson family. Now, before I get started with my likes and dislikes with this movie, this is really the first Quentin Tarantino film I've seen. I know, guilty as charged here. I don't know. I just wasn't so sure about Quentin Tarantino as a director. You know, considering I heard he was so weird and that, like, weirder than supposedly I'm into. And here's the thing, I love weird stuff. And then once I heard this film is like one of the least weird of his films, I was like, okay, maybe this might be a good place to start out with as far as Quentin Tarantino films. And let's just get to my thoughts on this movie. Honestly, one of the positives I have is I actually... Let's see where to start, actually. For one, I really dug the story. And it didn't really feel like it was a linear storytelling. This film goes on through days and days, and just really felt like a series of moments. And I really dug that about that. It felt different compared to everything else I've seen as of late. Also, I really I really did dug the characters, which a lot of these characters are based on real people. Especially Margot Robbie's character, Sharon Tate. She was a real life person who in real life got murdered by, horribly murdered by the Manson family. Which is awful. It's an awful thing, and that's something event I didn't really know about till this movie, and did a bit of research on it, and yeah, and one of the things I noticed, like, when watching it for the first time before I did my research, is that they really underutilized Margot Robbie in this film. Which I think Margot Robbie is a good actress, and she was the best thing out of, she was the best thing in this Suicide Squad movie. Best actors, one of the best actors in it, but now after doing my research in that, I could kind of see why. I guess they just didn't want to dramatize that person, because I've heard supposedly Sharon Tate, I've heard people talk about how Sharon Tate was just this kind person, and I guess they just didn't want to tarnish that, really. So, yeah, but at the same time, too, I'm like, okay, if you didn't want to do that, then why include this person in your story? I don't know, but I mean, I get it. I also I like a lot of stuff with this. Like, I like the two main characters. You follow Rick Dalton and his stunt double Cliff Booth. Cliff Booth portrayed by Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Which I've seen them before in other stuff. I've seen Brad Pitt in the movie Seven with Morgan Freeman. And I've also seen Leonardo DiCaprio in Christopher Nolan's Inception. Those were really the first time I think I've seen those two actors in a movie together. Well, in a movie. So to see them as side by side, I think it's good. I think both of them are good actors, and they really show that in this movie. Also, I really dug the cinematography of this film. The cinematography is really good. I love the set design, like the production design and everything like that. They recreated 1950s, they recreated I think it was 1970s, or actually it was the 60s, it was in 1969, so it's really transferring, kind of transitioning to the 70s. And I felt like they really what Quentin Tarantino was able to do was amazing. He really recreated Hollywood of 1969. He really did that. And it feels almost like a period piece movie at times because of that. And I really dug that. And knowing that, this was one of the few films as of late I felt like I didn't know where this movie was going. I didn't know the direction it was going or anything like that. And, most of the film, honestly, is just kind of tame from what, it's not... It just seems like a average movie, but it's done really well. And then, without getting into spoilers, there's this... Because you just have to see this film to know about it. Just like with most Quentin Tarantino films, at least from what I heard, he changes stuff in history. And he did that with this film, but he did it in an awesome way. Legitimately, I was shocked by this film's ending. I did not know that's the direction they were going to go. And I just had a blast, actually. And also the music is good in this movie. Seriously, I could go on and on about my positives with this movie. I really could. So let's just get on to my negatives. One of my negatives is and like I said, I just felt like Margot Robbie was just really wasted in this movie. So underutilized. But after doing research on this whole thing, I kind of see why they did that. But at the same time, too, for me, it's okay, if you didn't want to, and I get it, I heard supposedly, because, most of the news media now, and just documentaries, when they talk about the Sharon Tate incident and that, they only talk about the murder and Charles Manson, but they never really discussed, Sharon Tate as a person. In this film, he really did that. So, I don't know, it's kind of like a, you know what, this wouldn't be a negative, it would just be more under my mixed thoughts category, so let's just change this from negatives to mixed thoughts, shall we? Okay, that's good. As far as actual negatives go, I honestly don't really have any. None that I'm oh, this is stupid or dumb or whatever, or stuff I was was boiling in me, So there's no negatives on this film. It was what I would consider negatives. So with that said, I'm going to give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a 4.5 out of 5 stars. This is a damn good movie. I really enjoyed it. And, and everybody was good. All the actors were good. they gave such great performances. I really liked what Quentin Tarantino did for this film, his direction and everything. And again, this was the first time I've ever seen a Quentin Tarantino movie, and it delivered, I think. In fact, I may actually be taking some inspiration from Quentin Tarantino in my future film works, actually, because, man, that dude's got talent, actually. Like, to be honest, this is probably one of my better films that come out in 2019, actually. For when I get to do, because I'm thinking about doing another round of rankings for 2019. This is definitely going to be within, within my next list for the top 5 best movies to come out in 2019 list. Like, round 2 of that. It's definitely going to be up there. So that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.